should build him a house for him to give him information. So the Hausa people have some saying that if you don't learn to buy the lies, you won't get the truth to also buy. So you must then learn to buy some of the lies so that you can get the truth to buy along the line. So we'll do the best that we can. But you are right. Sometimes it's very frustrating. But we'll keep soldiering on. Thank you so much, Chair.
Yes, please, you are the last, and then we'll go to the next question. Set of questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Minister, looking at your answer, you said that the prime suspect had escaped before the security personnel arrived at the scene. In most cases, these prime suspects always escape before the team arrives there. Isn't it a worry, or shouldn't it give us, an indication that even the team that is going there might be some pre-information to those suspects? Because you have gathered information, you've gathered intelligence that these people do operate here. It wasn't just, one time. You have, done lots of investigations. Then on the day of the swoop, most often, if you go to these Galamsey sites, etc., most often the prime suspects are not, arrested. Mr. Minister, what can we do about this?
Well, I must say that it's one of the biggest challenges that we have, and usually you can only deal with this through intel. And there have been a number of times that, I know they will tell me, oh, we are going to strike maybe within the next 2 days. Then 3 days after, they said, no, we have to change it because we believe that there's a leak and we have to work on the leak. Because it's a human institution, sometimes you cannot run away from such a thing. But what I can tell you is that even within the intelligence community, they are also mindful of that. And they always try to sometimes police the policeman. So they put people in front, they put others behind, they put, like sometimes it goes up to 3 layers, just to make sure that they are able to deal with it. There will be instances that they will put people to say, go and deal with this, knowing that they are people who've been given information. Then they'll set up another team to go. And sometimes they'll go and see that they are partying together. Then they arrest them together with this thing. But because it's within the intelligence, you won't hear that one. But they've been happening. If Dana was to tell you, there are instances that we had to immediately arrest some of our own, because you just realize that they are also playing parts in the problem. And like I said, like every house, you always have bad nuts. But believe me, majority of the people are up to the task, except that periodically, once in a while, you get this leak. And last year, November, when this thing, is it from the Netherlands, only for it to realize that some other sister security agency was part of those who were rather aiding. He's here. He arrested the person, and then we quickly reported to their unit that, look, this officer has been part of those who've been assisting, because when the thing was coming, it came through. They came through him. And he will always make sure that it will come when he is on duty, so that he facilitates it. And now he's facing prosecution, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it happens, but it's not something that is rampant. But once in a while it happens, but they have a way of dealing with it. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Minister, thank you. We'll go to the next set of questions, but it's just one question. But there are one question and 2 supplementary. And you will be discharged after that. After this question, we'll do some public interest questions.
I have one.
And then we'll discharge. All right, thank you very much. Welcome back. We had some small disruption. Sorry about that. So, Honorable Minister, Honorable Frank Asiedu-Bekwai asked a question on the same 9th. He asked the Minister for Interior to provide an update on arrest made on the 4th of March 2025 on the Cape Coast to Accra Highway in respect of some substances alleged to be illicit drugs. You are well aware of that arrest that was made. The figures that were mentioned were in excess of 300 million cedis, the street worth of it. Mr. Minister, he followed up with a supplementary and said that Honorable Nyindam was asking if the evidence of the destruction, is it possible that you can provide evidence of the destruction or the people that witnessed that destruction? So you indeed informed Parliament at some point that there was some destruction of some of these drugs, and they wanted evidence. So they want to know what has happened, then the evidence. And the last supplementary is he wants to find out from the minister if it will please him to make available to us a copy of the court orders for the destruction of the said substance. I think that along the line you mentioned that the court ordered it, and they wanted to find out if you have a copy of the court orders. So 1, we need an update. Then 2, if you've indeed destroyed it, what's the evidence? And 3, if a court is the one that ordered it, do you have the court evidence? So these are the 3 questions. It's 1 question, but 3 in 1. Honorable Minister.
Well, thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm sure the pen drive that was added to the committee, this shows all the evidence. It shows the video of the destruction, because we can't destroy any drug without the court order, and which we secured, and we've provided the pen drive. I hope that maybe, if you mind, you can play it, or if you played it to the committee, that has been done already. The substantive case is one that is being prosecuted. The last adjourned date was 30th April, and they were to reappear 29th June. Unfortunately, 29th June was the day of the flood, so they are now working to get a new court date. So the prosecution is ongoing, and we want to assure you that once we secure prosecution, we can update you on that. Thank you.
Yes, you have given a pictorial evidence, Exhibit A, and then also the court order on as Exhibit B, and I hope that the clerks will have it. It's in the video form. All right. Honorable Minister, we will look at the videos, but Honorable Minister, what was the street value of these drugs, of the drugs that were seized?
Well, it was in excess of 300 million. It was in excess of $300 million, yeah.
Was it cedis or dollars?
Well, the Director General is reminding me that it's dollars.
That's huge. And you know the number of people who were arrested?
Yeah, there were 3 so far that are currently facing prosecution.
Are they on bail?
Yes, they are on bail. You know, usually we'll keep them, and when we start the court processing, they are made to put surety and all that. Their passports are usually seized, and then the court grants them bail while the case proceeds.
Was the driver and the maid part of those who were arrested?
Yes, please. I'm told that, yes, the driver and the maid were part of those who were arrested.
And some people on the run, or all of them who have been arrested?
Obviously, you know, when it happens that the main kingpins will be far away, but we are perceiving them. And like I said, we use all methods, especially with Interpol. Unless you secure what you call prosecution, you can't get. But for our borders, the stop list and those things, that one is internal, and we're able to deal with that.
Yes, please. Any supplementary questions on this? Okay, Honorable Minister, yes.
I just wanted to find out from the minister whether this response was made before the passage of the Security and Intelligence Act, because I still see BNI in your records, NIB in your records. I don't know whether, because it's like the current act that was passed, it's the same NIB. It has been changed to BNI. So that's just what I wanted to say, because this...
Well, Mr. Chair, if you recollect, we were supposed to have had this meeting some time back, and then it was, by that time we are finished with all the information, so that might be the cause.
Honorable Minister, we will, your questions are how do I say, time for questions. You've done well on that. We will discharge you on the basis of questions, but we will look at the public interest and ask you some questions, few questions on the public interest. I told you that the public is watching, so you are making a lot of headline news. When you go out, you will hear yourself.
No, he's already in the news.
I know, but it's good. We are making positive news. People will sit up, so it's good. So an individual sent me a message. I don't know the person, so obviously it's just a message. The person has my number, but I don't have his number, his or her number. I don't know if it's a male or a female. But let me read the question to you. Honorable, hello. I beg to find out now that the minister is before you, what is the procedure after he announced the withdrawal of gun holders' license in Ghana and gave a 90-day window? So far, there is no directive served on the police as to how the new re-registration process will be done. And we have entered day 14 out of the 90 days. Most grateful. Honorable, this is someone who has interest in what you did and is following up, in fact, and counting the days for you. And it means the person really knows what he's doing, because trust me, for him to be counting and know there's a procedure and that. Honorable Minister, educate the public. What directive did you send? And what is it that you sent to the public? And what is the directive? What is the procedure the public will have to follow? How do they follow it? As we see today, are the license guns revoked? And how do they reapply? What is the procedure? People want to know that.
Well, let me thank you so much. I want to believe that every gun holder who has legitimately had license knows how to acquire, how he got his permit. And usually it's by application. In fact, after the flood, we realized that a lot of people were affected. So I even gave the Director General CID instruction that let's send messages to all those. A lot of people were in the process of legitimizing their permits. Those who already have passed and they're having the license, after the flood came and we realized that it's affected about 7 regions, and these are most of our major regions, we decided that with all the inundation, the challenges that we ourselves are facing currently, we should send messages to those who are having legitimate permits to keep it and come up when it is due, that's in January. Those who are in the process should still get in touch with the CID to complete the process by making sure, then we'll make sure that you go through the new regiment that we have put in place. I'm sad to tell you that some of the reason that we are trying to do this even happened just this weekend. Prominent people are shooting and killing themselves through suicide. I say prominent people. Yes, people that you least expect that in society will naturally kill themselves are doing that. And when they do and you go, they are using registered firearms. So it's not like the person is using an illegitimate firearm. And you are asking, what method did we use to check that this person was in the right frame? Because the law, if you read the Arms and Ammunition Act, it says that the minister will grant you license knowing that you are in the right frame of mind. Right frame of mind, the only way you can ascertain that you are in the right, I can't just, Honorable Chairman, you can't just look at my face and say that, oh, the way I've been talking since morning here, I'm in the right frame of mind. You'll be just assuming. The only way to do that is to do mental tests.
Honorable Minister,
Yeah.
I want specific, very clear, very clear messages to the people of Ghana.
Yeah, so what I'm
Are
saying...
you saying
Yes.
that if I have a sidearm or a shotgun which the public can register and I have a legitimate license now,
Yes.
my license will expire on 31st of December,
Yes.
2026.
Yes.
Are you saying that I do not need to re-register again and
saying
that
that-
license is
Yes.
legitimate till 31st of December?
We are saying that yes, and you receive a message from the CID to that effect. Because you see, initially we sent a message, and then we had this flood that has affected 7 regions. We are rational human beings. People are going through a lot of challenges and trauma. Based on what the data that we have, well over 100,000 people are having these challenges. And if you look at the areas that they are having, these are people that have gone through all this trauma. It will not be fair to be adding to their challenges the issue of registration. So I think it is yesterday we said that the CID send messages to all legitimate holders, permit holders. They should keep it to December. Those who are in the process will control the process by making sure that you go through the vigorous one. But those who are already holding, so now, if Chair, you have a sidearm that you have registered and you've given a license that was supposed to expire 31st, I'm saying that you receive a message that's telling you that keep it until the 31st. Because of the challenges that we are going through, we don't want to compound the challenges of our citizens. So I'm hoping that by now people should have started receiving the messages to tell them to keep it until the 31st. But knowing that from 31st, you go through the new arrangement where you do the mental, the drug, and the training. But those who are in the process, we are encouraging them to go through the full process to be able to acquire, because you are already going through the process, so you go through the...
So the new added procedure from those who already have from 1st of January or before 1st of January, if you really want to have it from 1st of January, is to know that you will be taken through mental testing, drug testing, and training. That's what you are saying.
In fact, another thing came up, Chair, like General, 2-star General. Must you go through training again? As servicemen, must they go through training? We are looking at that because you don't want to create a system where it shows discrimination. But there can be positive discrimination, because if somebody has served in our security services, yes, aforementioned, you can be the former CDS, you could have challenge. You could be the former IGP, you could have a challenge. With regards to drug, that one, but training, we could exempt some people, but that one, it will be on the need to do training that will ask you to do. Other than that, we'll exempt you. So I just wanted to add this leg.
Honorable Minister, you will have a logistical nightmare, especially on shotguns. Let me give you an example. We have over 2 million shotguns that are in the system.
It's not the 2 million that
I know,
already said.
I know. But there are a lot that are generally registered. How are you going to train all these people when you don't even have shooting ranges to train them?
You know, Honourable Minister, that's the excuse that people use. We train our men and women in the service in our training schools across the country. Currently, as we said, the police has 25 regions. 25 police regions. And I keep saying that, look, how many trainings do we have? We have all this training where we go and train large number of persons at a go. If you want to do the right thing, you get a way to do it. If you want to have excuses not to do the right thing, you always have reason not to do the right thing because you can find the reason not to. But you say that you train men and women that come to join our armed forces, that come to join our police, that come out to join our immigration, and use the training schools. Yes, thank you, Chair.
Honorable Minister,
Yes.
add this to your answer, or no, to the answer so that the public will know. If you go to the north, the training school is at Palugu, unless you have opened one in the northern region, or in Savannah, or in Wa. So if I am sitting in Wa West, Honorable Lenchini's constituency, and I have a legitimate shotgun to protect, to go for hunting, and on 1st of 31st, it's a spice, and I have to register. I have to travel to Borga, Palugu, to do the training.
Not
Is
necessarily.
that it?
No, because what we are doing currently, we are partnering other private persons to create this so that we'll certify them and say that, okay, into shooting range company limited. So we certify and say that you can either go to the police or go to the immigration or go to the fire. Fire don't do this thing, or go to Nitiwo shooting this thing. And when you do any of them, it will be legitimized. So we are in the process of bringing a lot of our partners who are already into the business to create this, to make it much easier for people to do. And like I said, Chair, we can continue to have excuse why we should not do the right thing. But remember, go and check the Arms and Ammunition Act. The issue of holding sidearm is not a right. It's clearly stated in the law. So it's not that it's a right that we are taking away from you, and therefore it's a human right issue, I must have it. No. You want to have it, you and I, we collect, our community doesn't have secondary school. We have to travel several miles to go to secondary school, but we wanted to have education. When you and I were going to school, there were only 3 universities in this country.
Honorable Minister.
Cape Coast, Accra, and Kumasi. And because we wanted to have university education, we traveled
Minister.
several miles to have
Minister.
the university education.
Honorable Minister, you see I kept using the word shotgun. I didn't use sidearm. Not in those questions. I keep using the word shotgun. Is the shotgun part in re-registration, the training part of the shotgun? I perfectly agree with the sidearm. Because sidearm, a category of people should hold it. You cannot just wake up and be distributing shotguns. People will die. Too many people will die. So I perfectly agree. And I think that it's also good. There's nowhere that people who hold shotguns don't go to regular training. That's why you cannot distribute shotguns to all your police. I can't mention for security reasons the number of police we have in the country or soldiers. So I cannot. But you cannot give all of them shotguns. There are specific groups, sidearms, there are specific groups. But I'm talking of shotguns. The one that the public can buy. So if we have 50 million adults, you can have 50 million pump action guns. Is that not right? Do you want all of them to go through the training?
The interesting thing is that you and I attend funerals, and we see a number of times the accident in the funeral ground. Someone trying to fire, and then before it runs into the public, and people lose their life, people get injured. In fact, if it comes to even training, I think it is those groups that we must even train. Because they are those who are in the large gathering and firing and hurting and injuring. And sometimes, the most recent one, someone was with a pump action. He fired and then he killed himself.
All right, my colleagues will want to ask, but my last question I just want to ask you. I'll come back to the other question that I said, but I'll let my colleagues ask. When you go to funerals, as we said, people are holding assault rifles. are you going to let your men seize those assault rifles on the spot? Assault rifles are totally different from legitimate ones the public can hold, even though some mimic assault rifles. But you can clearly see, let me use the word, for example, AK-47 gun. All right?
In fact, currently the instructions is that even the shotgun are supposed to be seized, because we have said that during in this gathering and other, we are engaging the chiefs. We've said that people should stop and let us engage the regional and national House of Chiefs, so that the designated persons that will be asked to do that will go through the training, appreciate what they are holding, and know when to use it and how to use it, so that we avoid the unnecessary accident and injury that we are having during ceremonies and festivals. So currently the instruction is that if they find you, it's not only assault. They are supposed assault rifles. They are supposed to seize it straight from you. I know enforcement is a challenge, because you see, Chair, we have a challenge that all of us agree is a challenge. But it's like everybody is waiting who is going to bail the cat. Everybody is saying, where do we start? I say start from anywhere. The most important is just start. And when you start and you start making the necessary impact, people will see why we should have it. Because you do know better than many of the people around this table. You've been there for 8 years. Our sub-routing is not a joke. If you allow this thing to be easy, use with impunity publicly, very soon our communities will no longer be safe as it is today. So it is for all of us to push back. That's why in the law it's stated that it's not a right that you must have this. So it is not something that you can say, I must necessarily have it. It's not a must. You want to have it, be ready to go through the difficult process of getting it. And we must be able to make it difficult. So we shouldn't make it easy. In fact, the intention is not to make it easy that, oh, I want a sidearm, I can have. I want a pump action, I can have. I want a shotgun, I can have. I just want a hunting gun, I can have. No. When we make it so, then it tells people that, oh, after Ghana, when you bring it in, it will be bought. And if someone is using the hunting gun and he enjoys using it, the next moment he moves to pump action, and the next he's looking for AK-47 to hold. Let's not make it that easy. Our communities are safe. We don't need to be holding guns for individual protection. We don't. That's why private security organizations are not authorized to hold sight and other firearms, even when they've been given licenses to provide man-guard and protect properties. So why should the individual be struggling that I must have it because I want to protect us? You and I, let's be frank with ourselves. The sidearm that you have, can you remember the last time you fired it?
Have I told you that I have a sidearm?
I know. Well, all those who are holding legitimately, the database is there. I can't remember the last time I fired it. Even the one that I used in going to farm. I can't remember the last time I fired it. So sometimes it's just a myth that we all just think that we must just have it.
You know, Honorable Minister, a colleague of mine in cabinet at that time said, I know, I want to have a shotgun gun. Can you, a pistol, you know, when they say shotgun, pistol, I want to have one. Can you help me? I said, well, defense does not issue it. Go to the Minister of Interior, but I want to ask you a single question. Do you have anger issues? He said, hey, that one, I have a lot. I said, you will kill your wife. I said, trust me, you will kill your wife and you go to prison. So please. He said, oh, is that right? I said, trust me. When you hold the gun, it speaks. Anybody who talks before you rally, go and bring it out. I beg you. You will kill your wife, so don't hold it. Anyway, continue.
So, Chair, I just want to say that let us all help to make our country more safer. And the best way to make it safer is that just don't hold it, like you are already saying. Because sometimes you see the circumstances that which people fire it, and it's so bizarre. Someone went to, it's a land. I went to Sawan and I met somebody, very decent person, land issues. He got there were some langers who were firing. When he was going to do the give the warning shot, he didn't know how to use it because he forgot that for warning shot it has to be in the sky. He fired on the ground, and then the bullet deflected. A passerby was there, it hit the person, and the person died. And this has landed the person into prison. This is a very decent person. He just didn't know how to use the gun. And you and I know the gun as it is, how to even take the bullets and everything about it, where to even save it in the house so that it's out of the reach of children. You have to be taught how to do it. And people don't know how to do it, and then they are just in a hurry there to buy it. And they don't even know how to use it. So we shouldn't make it just easy. And I want the public to support the Minister of Interior to ensure that it is just not a commodity that people could just walk like you want to buy roasted plantain. You just cross over the street, stop, and then you buy, and then you go. Let's make it difficult. And let's support each other so that we'll continue to keep our community safe. Thank you, Chair.
I will go to him and then come to Kokwa, and then...
Thank you, Mr.
Chair,
Chairman.
I just want to make a plea. Because of the promise that you and I had, I'd agree that I was...
the next 10 minutes we'll discharge you, don't worry.
By 12:30, now it's 1. So thank you.
But Honorable Minister, your answers should be short.
I'll try.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, the minister indicated in his submission that he cannot look at somebody's face, like my face. He cannot look at my face and think that I'm mentally sound to hold a gun. And so it means that there's a reason for conducting, the mental test before they can issue you with a permit. So if that is the case, between now and December, you cannot assess the person's mental capacity by just looking at the person's face. So if, in case that the person who is holding the gun, whose gun needed or needs to be permitted, if you don't do it between now and December, if something happens, and if it so happens that the person's mental capacity is not good enough to hold a gun, what happens? So for me, I think that it is necessary that whatever you need to do as a ministry to make sure that, because people's mental capacity need to be tested before they can continue to hold a gun, it is very important that whatever you need to do in order for them to go through the test before they continue to hold the gun is done. From my personal perspective, I think that one must not be compromised in any way. Thank you.
Yes, it's a comment, so please.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Minister, Galamsey, I know it falls under the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources, but what I want to find out is what your ministry is doing to help the other minister to fight this menace. The reason is that we have beautiful forest reserves in Ghana, and Ahanta West, to be precise, we have one that actually leads into the sea. That is the only one that leads into the sea. And in the middle of the night, you have buses dropping people from Mali, Niger, and other areas or countries into the forest. So now when you are walking around the forest, it looks greener, but in the inside is a mess, because that is where they actually do the job. Now you find people to go and arrest some of these guys, send them to the police, the immigration, give them 2 days, and then they will be out. Exactly where they started and where they were before we got them. So my question is, please, the immigration officers and our police officers, they fall under your ministry. What are they doing, or what are you doing with them to help our minister, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, to fight this? Because it's looking like they are even involved or they are not helping with this fight.
Well, Mr. Chair, I mean, this is a problem that has bedeviled us, and with the establishment of NIMOS, we're hoping that we're going to have much progress. So last month or so, we decided to change the whole operational team. And within the operational team, we have the national security, we have the police, we have the immigration, all of them, the military and what have you. So those changes have been made. And I also serve as a member of the team, the ministers, because the national security, the lands minister, the attorney general, and some few others, we constitute the committee that is oversighting that. So yes, it's a challenge, but we have assured ourselves that this is something that we need to be doing periodically. So we vow that every 3 months, we meet more frequently, but every month we need to assess the work that they are doing. And depending on the progress that they made, we should not be tired of rotating the officers, because sometimes when you leave one group of people there for long, instead of them dealing with the problem, they become part of the problem. So that's what we are currently doing for now. That's what I would say. Thank you.
Sorry, just a floor, please. So does that include, sorry, Minister, police officers that have been in a particular area or Galamsey area for a long time, because then they get used to the area and then they are part of what is happening. Is there something that is being done about their transfers? Like, when you stay at a particular area for a long time and you get yourself, you be transferred to a different area where there's no Galamsey or something, and just like a reshuffling thing going on.
Yes, I mean, based on the police regulation is of the CI 76, no officer is supposed to stay at one place for more than 7 years. So yes, and then some of them have stayed at one place for too long, and you are right, instead of them being those solving the problem, they become part of the problem because they are so familiar with the community. And instead of using their knowledge of the community to rather help, they now become part of the challenges. And you see that since the current IGP came, a lot of those transfers have been done. But the challenge you have is that you cannot do it, because some people have been there for long. You cannot do all of it at a go. You break the system. So you do it gradually, you allow briefing space, then you continue. So he's been doing it. And I want to assure you that I'm sure many of those that are around your place that are involved in this, very soon it will be their turn to move to other places. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, you are the last. Okay, you
very much, Chairman. Mr. Minister, I know you have in your possession some excavators that were seized. Flooding has come. For some of us, our areas, the MPs would have to, if you come to my constituency, for instance, I have to, even though I'm 2B and is situate in my constituency, and we have about 25 seized excavators there, I will have to go around searching for excavator to do dredging, etc. What plans do you have in respect of these excavators for maybe the districts, municipalities, etc., to make good use of them? And secondly, when are the first batch of applicants going for training?
Okay, Chair. With regards to the excavators, remember, it's not all the excavators that you see parked that have been seized, that have been confiscated to the state yet. Some of them are at court. But we currently have, I think, a little over 80 that has been determined, and it's with the Forestry Commission. And it is that one that, in that meeting, that we agreed that 70 of that should be given to NADMO to distribute across the country for this dredging and other things. This was since last month. But interestingly, one of the things that we realized when now NADMO had to go and pick them, when they go chasing them and they are running, they take the motherboard away. So now you have it standing there as an excavator. You cannot start it and move it. So they are now going through, in fact, yesterday we held a meeting. They are now going through to see how we can get those that have been released to NADMO to be functional so that they can assist in the work. Yes. Thank you, Chair. And then the last one that you were saying, we are almost done with everything with regards to the recruits. In fact, our original target was to get them to go to training by 1st of July. And then the other challenges, a lot that are not had to do with the process, but other things that had to be done, because if they have to go to training, the day they report to the training camp, they have to eat. So all those things are being done, and that is what is holding the day. So now I don't want to announce another date that will fail. Other than he's here, yesterday night we were in a meeting that I kept pushing that, look, 15th is a good time, but it's hinged on those availability of things. So they were even saying that, Minister, why not let us even target end of this month? If those other things that are supposed to be done, that we don't have control over, are done, then we are sure that when they arrive on campus, they are on the training ground, they are not going to starve. So those things are those that we are chasing. Once we get them, believe me, I'm very optimistic by the close of this month, they should be reporting for training. Thank you, Chair.
So you, yeah, that's the question. Okay, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Minister, mine is on flooding. Let me, first of all, solidarize with the victims and also commend His Excellency the President for the action taken so far and your entire team. Honorable Minister, when it comes to the laws of our country, you understand the laws better than some of us. There are a lot of laws governing planning of our country. And if you permit me, I want to mention just 3 for the benefit of our viewers and listeners. We have the Land Use and Spatial Planning Act 2016, the Act 925. We also have the 2016 Act, Local Government Act 936. And then more importantly, the Ghana Hydrological Authority Act 2022 Act 1085. Honorable Minister, all these laws is meant to help us protect the society by building our country properly. At the end of the day, I have a simple question, which is, or let me say, I want to find out from you, has any institution been held accountable for negligence if they fail to enforce planning laws that resulted into the recent disaster? Thank you.
Well, Chairman, I believe that this question that you asked me, you have the answer yourself. Because if we were to be holding people accountable, we will not be where we are. But the challenge is that spatial planning is the preserve of the district assembly. Parliament sits here. In fact, if Parliament is going to put up one room here, they are supposed to get permit from the district assembly. Is Parliament doing it? If the ministry is going to put up anything, any of the ministry, you are supposed to take permits. You are supposed to take fire certificate. All those things that we all gloss over it. And the assemblies, I don't know for whatever reasons, they are not also flexing, because if they enforce it, I'm sure it will force all of us to comply. They are not enforcing it. Now we have MMDCs that are not elected, they are appointed. I mean, you appoint Muntaka as the DC for the place. Now you are going to do something, he comes and says that, no, you have to get permits. Instead of you to understand that that is the law, you start threatening him, you start saying all manner of things. Then people start calling the regional chairman, the regional minister. He is making us lose vote. He's going to let us go back to opposition. You do that and then you go to opposition. Then another one comes. They use the same thing. They go to the opposition. But I keep saying that if we can all be firm to do the right thing, and I'm really very sorry, maybe I'm veering. The chair is here. He and I have been in this house for over 2 decades. He will tell you, doing the right thing comes with a lot of insults and other things, but the majority will be with you, and that's how people stay in this, even this house long. Those who come and they want to do things because they think that some few constituents are making noise about it. Believe me, you will be lucky to do a 3rd term, because by the time you start your 3rd term, majority of constituents sees that you are not a honest person. You are just, doing firefighting. You don't have any plan. All you do is that you just listen to the few noise. They will push you out. So it's a challenge that confronts all of us, especially the political class. Remember the regional minister when she was going around doing the demolitions. People, I saw one video. Me, I've invested in NDC. You came, you didn't give me anything. Today, even my property, you are breaking it down. And then we'll see, next election. And you don't see anybody coming to the support of the regional minister. She's a human being. She's a politician. There's so much noise. People are saying that, hey, she's doing this in our stronghold. She's doing this area she went, the whole of that area. We won all the ballot box. She begins to feel threatened. But if the very people in that area are cheering her and supporting her, telling her, yes, this will prevent all of us from running into the disaster, I want to believe she will have continued. But the same people, everybody keep quiet. Even the majority who believe that what she's doing is right are quiet and leaving her alone to carry the burden of the few who are making noise and are daring and using video, threatening her and what have you. She said naturally she will begin to slow down. So the whole thing is an attitudinal thing that starts from every one of us. It starts with you, Honorable Mustafa. It starts with me, Honorable Muntaka. It starts with the chairman, Honorable Netuo. Let's ensure that in our small corners, the right things are being done. Just this morning, before I was coming here, I was talking to the Minister for Lands. Look at the nature, the way Achimota is saving all of us. People are applying that what on what, their great-grandfather, what on what, gave it, some portion should be given to them. In my constituency, there's some reserve like that. I just saw that people were felling trees. I called the minister and said, what is this? He's not even aware. And I'm saying that, look, even in the midst of this, people are just cutting the forest reserve that are helping the cities. In the name of, we want portion of it. You want portion of it to do what with it? The reason why we kept it as a reserve, are we saying that it's no longer important? It is. So why are you talking about giving part of it for that you sell and develop what? So it's an attitudinal thing that all of us must wake up to the realization that if we don't support the right thing being done, and it's going to be the business as usual, where all we think about is the next election. Well, I have seen it since President Kufuor. I've been in this house since President Kufuor. When you are doing the things because you don't want to lose a vote, it's the very reason why you go and lose the votes. Thank you, Chair.
All right, Minister, we have just 2 more, this and then we'll discharge you. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Minister, I want to ask if there are any shops that sells legitimate or legally firearms in Ghana, and if so, what measures do you put in place before selling someone firearms? And don't you think it will be better for the buyer to go through some mental examination or mental health training before selling the weapon out? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Well, we have armed dealers in Ghana, and they are also licensed. They are licensed by the Ministry of Interior, and the process they go through is very vigorous, because you need to have what they call the magazines where you keep this, and where they keep them. The CID units, they have a land registry unit within the police CID. What they do is that, so for example, if Honorable Muntaka comes to register to be an armed dealer, first you apply to the minister. the minister refers it to the CID and the BNI to do what we call the background check, to check the background of Muntaka. What does he do? Is it somebody that will not endanger public if it's allowed to be dealing in arms? When all this has been done, then you now get the certificate to be an arms dealer. Now, when you become an arms dealer, when you are going to import arms into the country to sell, even before you do the importation, you come and apply to the Minister of Interior that I want to apply for this type of arms into the country to sell. You give all their details and everything, even including the ammunitions. When those things are granted, before you now go and import, and when it comes, you now write again that it has arrived. So the CID unit will go and march it into that magazine where they keep it, and you have a padlock, they also have a padlock, so they will lock it. So if you are there and Honorable Nitu says he's coming to buy, they will now inform the CID. They will check that Honorable Nitu have applied to have that gun. They will do the background check on him. Oh, okay, it will not be a threat to public if he's having that gun. Now you can sell it to him. When they say they take all his fingerprint and everything, they now go with you to the magazine, open it, and then take that particular arm to him. Take all the serial numbers and everything. So if you look at what they are doing, we shouldn't have problem. If everybody was doing it, with the touch of the button, you should be able to tell who is holding what gun, what is the registration number of that gun, what that gun can do, what that gun cannot do, when the person acquired it, who sold it to that person. All this is there. The challenge we are having is the underdealing, the one that is done on all of us blind side. Because what others do, for example, individually, Honorable Nitu travels to America where they can sell guns openly in the shop. You can just look and go and see, oh, I like this one. Can I see it? You try it and all that and all that. Then, when he's coming to Ghana, he will now write to the Minister of Interior saying that because of ABCD, I want to have this sidearm. Then the ministry will do background check on him. Oh, he's a high-profile person. I mean, no criminal record, decent person, decent job, is a member of parliament, former defense minister, is granted. Now he comes, he now will now allow him to bring in the sidearm. Go to the CID, they take the serial numbers, pick his fingerprint, and then return the sidearm to him with the permit or like the license. So he keeps it, and every year he renews it. So if you look at the process, yes, it's a bit vigorous, but the record keeping is there, and it's digitalized. You can tell who and who. That's why I'm saying that I've asked that they should send messages to people. So that's why we are saying that in all this process, what we realize that is missing is that when we are giving it to Honorable Muntaka to go, we don't check. Yes, he's a decent person, he has a job. I mean, Honorable Nitu is former defense minister, he's still a member of parliament, but we don't check, does he know how to use it? We don't check that one. That's why we are bringing the training. Is he on drugs? We don't check that. Is he in the right mental, is he in the right frame of mind? Because the law says that you should only give it to somebody in the right frame of mind. And I'm saying that I cannot sit and look at the people here and say that, oh, look at Honorable Danjuma, the way he's quiet this morning, it looks like he's not in the right frame of mind. But for Honorable Jab, he's in the right frame. You can't do that. You have to, there should be scientific way of doing it. And when we are doing it, the Director General is here. Narcotics, when it comes to drug tests, we insist that only Narcotics Control Commission will do it. And they are in all the 16 regions. And they are in additional 66 districts. When it comes to mental health, we insist that it should be the Mental Health Authority. And they are everywhere in the region that will do and certify that this person is in the right frame of mind. So if you look at the process that we are, even the addition, it is just to enhance, to make sure that whoever is keeping it is safe for the person to keep it. That's why we are doing what we are doing. But the process currently, I can show you those who are dealing with it, if they are doing the right thing, this is the process and where they keep it and where we always get it, the information and who is buying from them. Thank you, Chair.
Uche, you are the last person.
I appreciate
appreciate you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Minister, I don't know whether when you were responding to the Honorable Lukoto in his question, you talked about this, but just want to find out whether plans are advanced for us to start issuing licenses for the cultivation of the cannabis. And then let me conclude on this, Honorable Chair. Just in respect of the flooding that we spoke about, I was just wondering whether Parliament should show interest in this, so that parliamentary committees that are responsible for some of these sectors, like Western Housing Committee, Rose Committee, committee members should rather visit site and make recommendations, look at buildings, look at structures that are not supposed to be at particular places, and recommend that such buildings should be pulled down, so that it doesn't be like it's the regional minister that is acting. I believe that as parliamentarians, if we make such recommendations, sector ministers or regional ministers will not be held by constituents. I remember as Rose Committee members, we visited Accra just I think 2 months ago. We realized that a container was sighted very close to the road and blocking the views of oncoming vehicles. There and then, we told the regional engineer, and we insisted that owners of the containers must be informed to either move the containers away or demolish them. In that case, the regional minister will not be seen as the person asking them to move the container. And so as committees of parliament, we have to take responsibility of some of these things, so that people should see as MPP, NDC members of parliament, we are recommending that this building be demolished. If we go that way, I think it will help us as a country. Thank you.
After Honorable Netubo and I, we've seen this again and again and again. I mean, when he first came, they were in power, we were in opposition. Then, when you are in opposition, you don't want to be seen, in quotes, hurting the public, because you want them to sympathetic and vote for you. When you are in government, you are struggling to do the right thing. Those of your other colleagues who are not part of the executive, no, this your action will make us unpopular and we'll lose the next election. And we've been running that battle again and again. And I don't know, frankly speaking, I don't think it has benefited any of us. Just not to repeat myself, it hasn't benefited any of us. I've been here, President Kufuor, we came, President Murs, and then we went back to opposition after President Mahama, and then President Nanado came. Now we are back. I mean, the same modus operandi, the politicians. Next election, oh no, you lose vote. I mean, who is going to brace it and say that, look, I'll do the right thing and I'll lose the next election? And I can tell you, the person will win the next election easily, because people are seeing you doing the right thing, even though they are difficult. But sometimes the courage to do it is a difficulty. Lastly, about the narcotics, yes, the people have applied. The Director General just drew my attention that at least 8 people, 8 people have gotten to the finish line, and he's bringing it to me for approval. 8. At least 8 companies have been able to get to the finish line, so they can start the legitimate cultivation with all the necessary measures put in place. So, yes, the process is on, and it's even online. People are able to apply. Yeah, we've been hearing a lot of people saying that, okay, why can't we review? And I said that, look, it's too early. You just start the implementation, less than 1 year. And people are talking about review. Let's start the implementation. Let's go up to maybe a year. Then let's see the real challenges that emerge, that comes out of it. Then we can use that for review. But even before you start implementing, you are talking about review. What kind of review are you going to do? So I hope that those who are interested can be patient. Let's see, now we have this 8. Let's see how the implementation goes. And if there's the need for us to come back to Parliament for some amendment or to change some of the processes, why not? So that at least we can make it an industry that can take care of even those who are illegally doing those weed cultivation that has much higher percentage of the THC, so that we can put them into cooperative and assist them. So, Chair, be rest assured, we'll continue to make things easy so that the public safety will be enhanced within our country. Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, you need to educate the public a lot on this. I know you said over 2,000 engagement, but this TAC of 0.3, you need to engage, because Currently now, a lot of people are ringing after 5, 6, some as much as 10, even some 90. So please educate them. But just the last bit was, I'll thank honorable members. I see that your minister have been sending updates on the flood. What will happen from Minister of Interior? We received text, so thank you very much for doing that. But how many people died in the recent flood? How many people lost their lives? Not died. How many people lost their lives?
Well, I mean, the records that we have, if you recollect, for Central Region, a week before the 29th, that's when they had their biggest disaster, where in Central Region we lost 18 people, and then about 18, and then about 58 houses came down. Obviously, in Central Region, most of the houses are attached houses. But for the 29th of June, that happened in Accra, the record we have, those who lost their lives are 12 and 7 missing. I was told that yesterday a body was found. So if that was found dead, that means it takes the dead to 13, missing 6. Volta region also had some date before the 29th, and there the record we have is that 4 people lost their lives. So if anything goes by, if you have to do anything by, that means if you add the 18 in the month of June, you say the 18 plus the 12 or now 13 plus the 4 in Volta region, that takes you to 35 with 6 missing. Or because since morning, I haven't gotten any brief to confirm that one has been found. So if that's not confirmed, then you have 7 dead, 7 missing and 34 dead. But in terms of displacement, I mean, it's really massive because Accra alone, those who were displaced were 58,000. But interestingly, Mr. Chairman, I mean, this conversation, someone said so much information, the conversation is never ending. We were trying to house people. We have 3 shelters. The gender ministry had a shelter that could take up to about 200 people. We had one at Ashama that can take 1,000 people. We have these bank beds that can take 1,000 people. In fact, we were preparing additional mattresses that could give additional places that people, because there were offices that we could use for people. And then we have another one by National Security that can house about 300 people. Chairman, we're going around asking people, come and let's go. And people say, no, just give me the relief item. I have a cousin who is assisting me. I have a niece, or I have a brother. People refuse, and we will say that because you are displaced, I'm going to use the military to force you into a bus and go and keep you where you don't want. In fact, the gender ministry, out of panic, one afternoon went and cooked food because she was told that some people were stranded in Domi. She got there and there was nobody in that church to eat that food. Because people just say, give us the relief, and I can say in confidence, of the 29 municipalities that got affected in Greater Accra, by the close of Saturday, we have given every municipal the relief items. We've covered all the 29. And I have the detailed information. If the committee is interested, I can WhatsApp it to you to show you how many bags of rice we gave, how many blankets, how many mattresses, all the items that were sent to these 29 municipalities. And in these municipalities, the way we distributed the chair was very transparent. I remember I told the regional minister, one of the things that we want is that we want the MP for that area to be there. We want the municipal chief executive for that area to be there. We want our NADMO director to be there so that the 3 of them will hand over these items. So she made the announcement and the regional minister personally supervised it. And I want to take this opportunity to thank her. I mean, she never had a rest. We were constantly in touch. Some of the time, the distribution goes deep into the night, but she stood her ground. She was there to supervise it. And I want to thank the staff of the NADMO and the security agencies for all the role that they played. Our hope is that, I mean, this should not be happening. And I want to also take the opportunity to thank the Minister of Communication, because I'm working with the Communication Ministry to assist in sending these messages. Now, we've tried to create subcommittees, and one of the subcommittees is what we call the early warning subcommittee, so that we work together, because Hydro sits with Works and Housing, Met sits with Communication, NADMO sit with Interior. So they were all working in that kind of silos. Now we managed to get them, to put them together, and now agree that even when once the rain met is predicting up to 40% possibility, let us know and let's send the messages to people. But if it is below 40%, that means it's not so much risk. But once it's up to 40%, let us send it. If it doesn't happen, at least people have been told that place your things well or position yourself very well. So we'll continue to do that to protect protect lives and property and ensure that there's public safety. Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, do find time and space to inform the MPs, because it looks like a lot of the MPs were not aware that they were supposed to be part of the distribution. So inform, otherwise your DCs and NDC will not inform them. And just the last one, short one, and let your answer be very short. The committee that is expected to make sure that they clear off the area so that flooding, at least, if we can prevent it completely, but it will be reduced. Because you and me know that a lot of our gutters are choked. People have built where they are not supposed to build. People have blocked the roads. People have blocked, in fact, people have actually gone to fill up water reserves. They filled, look, all the areas, the dams, they've gone and filled up, and now the tea is so smaller. Then when the water is coming, water will spread. It will find its own level. The committee is expected to have worked with the Western Housing Minister and your minister as part of them and others. When is the committee starting their work? I hear the armed forces are leading. When are the people of Ghana expected to see action?
They've started. Frankly, they started on, I think, was it Thursday? They started, but because the place is really big, and let me admit, we have subcommittees, and we've agreed that when it comes to this mitigation and all that, it will be communicated by the government communication. But it's just the bit I can just say is that the rest of what they've started, and we are making when we came to finance to take the money, we assure them that that component for the mitigation will be led by the 48 engineers. And that's exactly what we are, so that we are not giving to any private person and procurement and all these challenges. So that has started. I'm not to, communicate on the details, but the government communication is supposed to do with the general that we chose to lead this. They will be doing the fine details. But we have about 5 subcommittees. The committees are the mitigation subcommittee. They are those to do the dredgery, try to clear the garbage, the silt, and those things. That's led by the 48 engineers. We have the relief and donation subcommittee that is led by Interior and NADMO in terms of the relief item distribution. We'll have the mitigation, what we call the early warning subcommittee led by the communication minister to ensure that people get timely messages and what have you. And then we'll also have the sanitation and health that is led by the local government minister and the health minister. For the others, the waste that is the filth that is filling our street, the health issues, because once you have flooding, if you are not careful, cholera sets in, typhoid, and other health-related issues. So you see that they are also sending messages reminding people, eat warm food, don't eat cold food, wash your hand, and all that. Use sanitizer as much as possible, and then make sure that you are using alum and chlorine in the water. If you see the face of the water, it's not very good, and all that. So it's a multi kind of thing that we are doing, but we'll be meeting. Even yesterday, there was that meeting to review, since the flood, where are we? What progress has everybody made? And all of us presented our report, what we've been able to do in the last week. So all this will be communicated, but the mitigation committee have started.
Honourable Minister, a member wants to acknowledge something.
Yes, Honourable Minister, I am only here to express my gratitude to you personally for your intervention. And when the dam spillage occurred in my constituency, I called upon you and you came through, and I want you to know I'm extremely grateful. The people of Wejagbawe are grateful. Save that, I was wondering why you are not a member of the Anti-Flood Task Force Committee.
Honorable Minister, he says, thank you. You did well. And please, at a point, this committee may visit the assurances you made. And if there is a need to get in touch with you to let you know that we will come and assess whether these assurances are indeed what you have said, we would get you to know. I want to thank you. Our next guest will be the Minister for Foreign Affairs. He was the chair of this particular committee before. I have not yet discharged him. He was the chair of this committee, so that will be our next guest for this. And I hope that he and his people would appear. Even if the minister is not here, the deputy should be here. And you know that Parliament, for example, it is the people, we are the representatives of the people. The people have sent you to go and do work. And when they need you, they will call you to come and account to them. So there is no minister, no ministry that this committee or any other parliamentary will call and you will not appear.
Chair, I hope you are not talking to me.
I'm not talking to you. You are a member of cabinet. You have done well, so I'm not talking to you. But I'm saying that...
So I'm discharged.
You are not yet discharged. Yes. So, Honorable Minister, we have heard you. Again, I think that what you did is good, where you are saying that the MP, the DC, the MMDC, and then the other person, the NANMO director, will work together to ensure that the people get what is due them. So we need the representative of the people, as we already started. We need the representative of the president, that is the MMDC, and then we need the people who in charge of it, which is the people in charge are the NANMO people, so that the three groups will do that and distribute it. No one should be left out. And I think you should ensure that that is exactly what it is. We are in times of need, and when people are in times of need, there's no politics. And so we must all put our hands to help so that we can get it. Honorable Minister, I want to thank you very much for calling upon this committee. You are a leader, you were a leader, you are still a leader, and we are very grateful for your presence. As I said, when we need you, we'll call you back. But for now, you are discharged. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.